hate the High Line. Around the time that I moved to New York, they started building the High Line, which is this raised railroad that they turned into a 1.5 mile park. And people get really excited about the High Line. And especially when it was being built, it was super popular. So if I went out to dinner with friends in the area, they'd be like, oh, let's go to the High Line. There's always a lot of people and it's very narrow. And the thing that I hate, one of the things that I hate most about the High Line is once you're on it, there's not that many places you can get off. So if you come to the High Line for a little stroll after dinner, be prepared to walk a bit because you might end up walking quite a distance between one entrance to another, which is what made me hate the High Line in the first place. I would come after a nice dinner to this beautiful park in shoes that weren't quite made for walking, and I end up walking a death march for like a mile and there's no exit in sight. One of the more interesting features of the High Line people have always pointed out to me is this hotel that goes right over the High Line. And it's interesting because a lot of voyeurs like to go to this hotel and keep the window shade open and do all sorts of interesting acts for everyone to see. I've heard today they put a lot of furniture and stuff into the window to make that more difficult, but if you're a voyeur, this is the place to stand on the High Line to maybe see what people are up to in their hotel room. Don't get me wrong, the High Line is a nice place to visit, and if you try to come early in the morning or at a time where there's not that much people, it's gonna be beautiful. There's plenty of art, there's places to get food. Another thing that's good about the High Line is it's right next to New York's newest park, Little Island, which is just right on the river here at 14th Street on the west side. Feature about the High Line is this little amphitheater where you can sit right in front of these windows in front of 10th Avenue and just stare at New York traffic, which is something pretty cool. I just finished walking from the southernmost tip of the High Line to the northernmost tip, and it actually wasn't as long as I remembered. It wasn't as grueling. I was not as in shape back then when I used to come all the time as I am now, if you can believe it. So walking a mile and a half is not as big a deal to me now as it used to be. It's still just as crowded though, even though it's not even like deep into the weekend yet. And another complaint is I only saw one bathroom at the beginning, which I didn't need, and now I need one. And now I'm at probably the second newest tourist attraction in New York City, Hudson Yards, which is like a big mall with mostly expensive stores, but some reasonable prices and decent food. And it has this big art piece called The Vessel, which is basically this big cone of stairs that you can climb, which I haven't done yet. I do want to do at some point, but I think it's still closed for COVID. But anyways, I need a bathroom, so I'm gonna have to go in. I hope you enjoy hitting the High Line with me today and maybe enjoying it a little bit. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of my silly videos, well then subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when more videos are available. Until next time, bye.